It's Crocktober and I am making Cajun butter chicken. Hey everybody, it's Amanda, long time no see, right? So if you don't know, I've been putting it on Facebook and Instagram that I have a job. My kids are gone, we're empty nesters now. I stayed in the house for like a year trying to figure out, you know, all these different things I wanted to do. And after a while I was just like, I gotta get out of the house. So a friend of mine actually has a office and needed some help, and I was like, let me jump in there. So, and it works out really great because it's right down the street from Rick where he works. So we drive together to work every day, we come home together every day, we have lunch together every day, and it just works out really nice. And because she's my friend, she let me work around his schedule, so it's been really nice. However, one thing that we have had to manage is me being away from the house all the time. Meals. I mean, that's so much more challenging than I realized, because when I was home for many years, there are a lot of things that I could do, but now that I'm out, not so easy. And even crockpot meals, which I love, because we actually work so far away from the house, 45-minute drive, and then you add an 8, 9, 10-hour day, and then the drive back, you couldn't have anything in the crockpot that long. So what I have learned to do is actually go ahead on our days off, pre-cook several meals so that by the time we get home I have something quick and easy to make. So what I'm doing today, like I said, Cajun butter chicken, and it's super easy. I'm gonna make it for today. We'll have leftovers for tomorrow. And then while this is cooking in the crock pot, I actually am going to be making a couple other things that I might show in another video, but I'm gonna have some pasta fagioli going. I'm gonna pre-make some beef that's gonna be sitting in the fridge or the freezer, and we're gonna have meals for really this whole week that I'm gonna make in just a few hours. But today we're focusing on the Cajun butter chicken for Crocktober. So this is, as usual, as is right for a crock pot meal. It is super easy. I'm gonna show you the ingredients and how quick and easy it is. But it is 2 steps. We're gonna crock pot it first, and then it's going in the oven. So let's talk about what we need for this recipe, and we'll get started. Okay, first things first, guys, we need chicken, and I use chicken thighs for this recipe. It's also really good with quarters. This is my Butcher Box chicken. I'm gonna put my Butcher Box link in the description box. Make sure you check it out. They are ending one promotion. They're getting ready to start another promotion. So I want you to just click the link, and it'll be almost like a surprise. Like, what's the deal that I get this time? And then you can see what they have coming up and see which one you think works out best for you. But I really like their chicken. They have great quality meat. And I actually get a lot of my chicken and beef, which the beef you'll see later, from farmers, but right now I'm actually waiting for the next batch of chickens to come. So this is actually really good to have in my freezer for those moments. And look at this convenient packaging, and this is plenty. This is actually 3 pounds, plenty for me and Rick. So first things first, and this is, by the way, still kind of frozen. I did have it thawing for a little bit, and that's fine. We can put it in the crock pot frozen, and it's still going to work out great. So let's talk about the other ingredients. Okay, so here are my other ingredients. I have carrots. Now I went ahead and sliced up some really small carrots that I had, and I sliced them kind of small because we're only gonna cook this in the crock pot for 4 hours, and I want it nice and soft when it's done. So this is probably about 6 very small carrots or 3 large ones. You're just gonna, like I said, dice it small. Some minced garlic, onion powder, Italian seasoning, black pepper, smoked paprika, very important, not sweet paprika, not regular paprika, smoked paprika, some kosher salt, garlic powder. I have salted butter. You can use unsalted, just you'll need a little more salt if you use unsalted, and brown sugar. So all of, oh, and don't let me forget back here, broth. This is my homemade chicken broth. You're gonna need about 3 cups of that. By the way, if you want all the exact measurements, check my description box, because I will tell you in the description box the exact measurements that you need, but I want you to just take a look at what you got. All of this you'll see is stuff that you probably already have in your cabinets. Very, very easy. And let's not forget the star of the show, Cajun seasoning. This is a body of Cajun seasoning. It's super inexpensive, but you can use any Cajun seasoning that you like. I just really like how this one smells, and that's usually how I judge which one I want. So Cajun seasoning, very important. First thing we're gonna do is actually mix together all of the dry ingredients except the brown sugar. We're holding off on that. all of the dry ingredients that are measured. We're actually gonna put it together in a small bowl, like I already did here, and you wanna stir it together because this is gonna be our yummy Cajun seasoning. Once you stir that together, I want you to go ahead and take another bowl, and I know I just spilled a little, but that's because I'm trying to hold the camera. We're gonna put it over here, and what I want you to get is about a tablespoon. I'm only pulling about half at a time. You know what, let's, because I actually have 3 pounds, let's do a half a tablespoon for every pound of chicken. There we go. All right, we're gonna hold that aside. This we're gonna save for after we crock. This is our into the crock pot mix. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our carrots, our garlic, our dry mix, our butter, and our brown sugar along with our chicken, and we're going in the crock pot. I really like this Butcher Box chicken packaging because it is just Rick and I. So if I wanted to use less, I could just cut off a little portion and then save the other portions in the freezer. So it works really well for the 2 of us. But for this particular recipe, because I am making it in bulk, we're gonna use all of it. Okay, now we are gonna add our beautiful carrots. 1 stick of butter, couldn't be more simple. This one actually came straight from the freezer, but I did have it thawing out for a little while. I'm gonna add our brown sugar on top of this. I got 2 tablespoons here. There we go, our beautiful dry mix. Just gonna give it that Cajun flavoring. Before I mix that any further, or do anything with that, I do have my carrots kind of in one lump and I want to spread those out. All right, now we're gonna add our Cajun mix there. There we go. Final step, broth. If you know me, you know I make my broth every week and I freeze them in little 1 cup. Look at that, isn't that crazy? 1 cup portions. So this recipe calls for 3 cups. Look at that. Would that be easier? There we go, lovely. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on that. We're gonna plug it in and turn it on high for 4 hours. You know what I almost forgot? My garlic, and this girl loves some garlic, so let me just toss that right on top because we need some garlic. You're supposed to, if you use regular already, not already chopped garlic, you want 4 cloves. And since I'm using the pre-minced, we'll go with just a couple of big scoops. A little extra garlic ain't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's good for the health. All right, so you can tell it's later in the day, right? The lighting is completely changed. The Cajun chicken is done in the crock pot, and I have a Pampered Chef pan here and my tongs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the chicken out and put it on this pan, and we are going to take that Cajun seasoning that we saved, remember this, right at the beginning? We're gonna sprinkle that on top, because what we're going to do, and we might actually put a little bit of the liquid that's in this crock pot on top of it first, that way it's got a nice moisture on it. But anyway, we're gonna put it in a 375 oven for about 25 minutes or so. We want it to get nice and crispy, because that's how you like your chicken, right? So I'm just gonna take the lid off, and I'm gonna kind of give it a good stir here. It's not going to be, again, fully cooked, but it's got the benefit of having been in a crock pot for several hours, so you've got all of that moisture, and plus you've imparted all of that good flavor from the chicken in the little broth thing you have happening here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick, I'm going to pick one of these chicken thighs up. I'm going to put it on the pan, and I'm going to do that one by one until all of the chicken thighs are on here. And you will definitely be able to smell the Cajun seasoning as you pull it out. It's got a very distinct smell and flavor, and trust me, you will see it and know it. You don't want to take any of the carrots out or any other vegetable that you decide to put in, which, by the way, you could put some potatoes in here. I wanted to make a mash. I thought about serving this with rice. I might have even mentioned rice at the top of the video, but I decided to go with mashed potatoes because that's what I was in the mood for today, guys. So I'm going to put the lid back on top, and I'm going to let this continue to cook with the carrots in it. But first, I'm going to go ahead and scoop out some of that liquid. This was only 6 thighs. Here we go. We're going to get a nice scoop of liquid. Come over here, let me show you what we got going on. Okay, here's our butter chicken, and I'm going to just put a little bit of this liquid over top. And remember, this liquid had a whole stick of butter in it, so there's plenty of fat that'll make this crisp up in the oven. So there we go. All right, a couple scoops of that, and then we're gonna add this Cajun seasoning. I'm just gonna use my fingers and sprinkle it over the top. Believe me, there's plenty to go around. We want to get it some good coverage, because like I said, this is really going to crisp up in the oven, and you want to make sure you have all of that flavor. The flavor is in the broth as well, but we want it directly crisped onto the chicken. There we go. There we go. It's starting to really give you a Cajun feeling right now, isn't it? Okay. I know shadows is what happens when you get this late in the evening, and it's hard to get good light. But there it is. It's going to go in that oven 375 for, like I said, 25 to 35 minutes. We want it to get nice and crispy. And then we are going to serve it with the sauce that we made and the carrots over top of our mashed potatoes. It's going to be amazing. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh, but look at this. Look at all the spices on that. You cannot tell me that is not seasoned, okay? I did go ahead and put some of that sauce from the carrots on top of the potatoes. And remember, it's got some butter and stuff. And it's also really good on the greens as well. So, and if you wanted to make this a little more moist on top, I like mine crispy. But if you wanted it more moist, you could add it on top of the chicken as well. So this is super yummy. And you know what? Let me tell you another thing about it, just being a crock pot meal. Okay, so you remember that I'm making it the day before, right? So the great thing about this being a crock pot meal is that you can actually do the crock pot portion the day before, the 4 hours. Go ahead and put it in the fridge. And then the next day when you come home from work or whenever you feel like heating it up, you can actually take this and then do that last 30-minute cook. It might take you like 5-10 more minutes just because it's coming from cold, but it's easy to do that last step. And while this is cooking in the oven, you can be working on some side dishes to go with it. So dinner in a half hour, and it's amazing. This is like restaurant quality. Normally I eat my food on camera. I'm not gonna eat this one on camera because it's actually pretty messy. It's got all of that seasoning and stuff on it. So I'm gonna have to do that off camera, y'all. But trust me, I mean, I wish you could smell it. You wanna try this one because, I mean, your kitchen is gonna smell great. This is so good for fall. It just feels like fall. It's got that warmth, it's got that butter, it's got the seasoning. This is the kind of thing that's gonna stick to your bones. This is a Southern home-cooked meal. You want this. So anyway, give this a try, and I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me while I did my big cook day. And come back next time, and we'll hang out again, and I'll tell you about how things are going. So don't forget to check out my other friends who are part of the Crocktober collaboration. I have a link in my description box for everyone else. There's actually even someone else doing a Crocktober meal today. I'll go ahead and link their video up here, and you can check that out. And that way you get more crockpot fun today. And you want to check out all of the others. There's already been several more for the month of October and more coming up. So plenty of good stuff out there for you. All right, I'm gonna eat this amazing dinner. I'm gonna call my husband in here. He This is a man's meal. I'm just gonna say. It just smells good. I can't even get over how good this is. So, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna eat my dinner, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.